Hi everyone, today we're going to read a story. I love stories, but this one is called Too Many Faces. I know that you like to make a lot of faces every time. I have seen your silly faces, your happy faces, your angry faces, your bored faces, your sleepy faces, and every face you have. So today we're going to read a story about faces. So this story goes like this. Have you ever pulled a really good, crazy, hideous face? I know you have. Well, once I knew a little girl whose name was Percy. Do you know anyone called Percy? Because I just know this girl. She pulled faces like all the time and she really liked it. She could do like a pig. She could do like a fish. What else? She could do a clown face. And she loved doing faces all the time. But she didn't know when to stop. So her mommy was really angry at her. She loved surprising her mom, who wished she wouldn't, like when your mom says, stop, but you don't stop. Like that. Percy did that all the time with the faces. So every time her mom popped her head out of a book like this, Percy would lower the book and scared her mommy with a ugly face like this. Percy, her mother said, put that face away. The wind will change and you will be stuck with that face forever. And her mom was angry. Percy laughed. Oh, Mommy, she said, that's not true. But just when her mommy thought that Percy was over with the faces, she would do it again, like this. And her mommy would be mad at her again, like this. Percy, just stop it. That's not funny. But she didn't care. Her mama was so sad because Percy wouldn't be a nice girl and stop doing faces. But a little bit of breath she threw away like this. But that was enough to fix Percy's face, But a bigger wind was brewing, but she didn't know. One day, her father was digging tomatoes in the garden like this. And Percy was trying to scare him and she said, boo! And then she laughed because her daddy was so scared. But far, far away in the deepest, chillest Antarctica, you know where the penguins come from? A winter breeze was skipping over some ice floes. Wow, like this. It raced over sea and land, ice and forest, and towns and villages before landing and roasting in Percy's garden. And you know what happened? Percy wanted to take off her boo face, but she couldn't, and she was like this. And she couldn't take it off because of the wind. And she said, Mommy, my face. And her dad said, oh, your face. Stop doing it. It's crazy. Stop it now. But Percy couldn't take it away. I can stop, Papa, Percy said, though it was really difficult to her to speak because her mouth was like this. And Papa put down his towel and looked at her. And he made this face and looked disappointed when he saw that she was telling the truth. Oh, Percy, he sighed. He stood in front of her and squinted like this. As he tried to work out what to do, And just at that moment, a hot wind from the melting baked deserts of Australia skipped over the trail of a kangaroo, brushed a mob of wallabies, swept along the tropical coast, dipped over the sea, skipped over land, surprising thousands and thousands of kilometers in an instant, and settled with a whisper into trembling tomato bushes of Percy's garden. A hot You know what that means? Every time the wind changes, you get stuck with a face. But Papa's face was in the garden, and now he was stuck too, like this. And Percy was still like this. And they didn't know what to do. So now they were two people stuck with faces and no solution in sight. La 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 la, Percy cried. And although Mama was busy painting pictures on the deck, she came running when she heard the horror in their voices. When she saw them, she stopped in tracks, and look shock and surprise came over her. Oh no! What is going on here? She said. And then, what do you know? And from the mountains of China stirred across a vast still lake, drilled through cities, and skittered over rivers, dived and rose, pitched and plummered straight over land and sea until it settled. And would you believe? Right there in Percy's garden. Again, could you believe that? And you know, Mommy's face was like this. She was stuck too. No, the three cried. They were really angry and really sad, and they were frustrated because they were stuck with faces. We all hate getting stuck with faces. It really was impossible. It really could not be. They tried their hardest to make their faces go back to normal, but it was no good. The wind had changed, and that was that. There was nothing to be done. So imagine you're stuck like this, and you're trying your hardest to get back with your face, and you can't. Or you're stuck like this, and you want to go back to normal, but you can't. Or like this, and you can't. That must be really sad. They very quickly realized that the only hope was if the wind changed again. But for that, they will need to concentrate very hard to make their faces assemble in their normal fashion, and they couldn't keep it up for long. Not even Percy, with her admirable dedication to crazy faces, you know? It seemed for all her practicing, she'd never really practiced her regular face. She didn't know how to do a normal face. No one knew how her face really was because she was always making a lot of faces. So no one really knew how her face was. That's all. They knew they would need to take matters into their hands. Mommy found a nice large fan that she put away in a cupboard. They blew it at their faces like this with a fan. It was not enough. They tried a hairdryer. They tried running very fast so the wind would blow in their faces, but it didn't work. They tried cartwheels and shaking their heads like this and using a lady's folding fan, but it wasn't enough. They tried everything they could think of, but nothing worked. But then Percy, who was a really clever girl, stopped and looked around her. And she looked at you. And she said, please, can you blow like this? So the wind could change again. And then Percy and her mommy and her daddy all looked at you. trying their best to put on their normal faces. They were trying so hard not to be like this, or like this, or like this, while you were blowing. And then, now what do you know? The little wind you blowed out from your mouth was enough for them to change their faces. You helped them. Just slightly, a little bit of air ran across the screen, through the wires, skipping along lightest passenger ways and down electric currents until it found Percy's gardens hidden in there. Deep in the story, deep in your imagination. And what do you know? It worked! You saved the day! Percy, her mommy, and her dad were restored to their normal faces and happy. And they were very careful not to put many faces ever again, because you can get stuck again. So now, you helped them. That's very nice of you. Thank you for helping Percy and their family. That's amazing. And let's think about it. How would you think your family will react if something like this happened to them? What do you think your mommy and your daddy and your siblings will do if anyone gets stuck with the face? You have to really think about it.